Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Asteroid City, and this is the latest film from writer-director Wes Anderson, focusing on a tiny little town hosting a Junior Stargazers convention, but when an alien appears, everybody is put into lockdown. And this film is so Wes Anderson in so many ways. The symmetry, the color palette, the deadpan delivery, just the overall feel of everything feels so much like Wes Anderson. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people alienated by some of his decisions. There's even moments for me where I feel like it goes a little bit too far. But overall, I think this is one of his most incredibly well-crafted technical films. And you even throw in some beautiful little ditty songs. Like there's a freight train song that plays towards the end that just really pulls you in. And it's so quirky and interesting. You have the cinematography, which is just absolutely pitch perfect, from Robert D. Yeoman. Alexandre Desplat's score feels so unique and idiosyncratic in the context of this film, even up to a point where there's a pretty emotional moment towards the end of the film, and the score just bleeds every bit of emotion out of the scene to the audience. And one of the most ambitious, this is one of Wes Anderson's most ambitious films too, not just from a technical standpoint, but from a narrative structure standpoint. The framing device of this film is so unique and different that it puts you in a place where you could step out of the narrative and really reflect upon what's really going on here and the themes of grief and loss, the unknown, what's our purpose in all of this. And the way that the film takes a step back and looks upon itself allows us to really reflect upon things in a unique way. And there's some particular performances that help anchor this framed narrative really well, like Bryan Cranston and Edward Norton, Willem Dafoe. And you have this story, which is really a whole bunch of storylines thrown together, which I do think there are a bit too many characters to try to balance everything. It can be overwhelming. But you do have at the core Jason Schwartzman, who's really channeling the Wes Anderson protagonist kind of performance in this dry and quirky and offbeat character whose wife has passed away and he has to break it to his kids, like Jake Ryan, who's his eldest, who's his son, who's part of this Stargazers convention. And Ryan gives a really fantastic performance as well. You have Scarlett Johansson, who's this actress who develops this relationship with Schwartzman's character, and that's one of the more engaging parts of the film. Tom Hanks is fantastic as Schwartzman's father-in-law, the father of his late wife, and Hanks just fits so perfectly into Wes Anderson's world. And you have the likes of Jeffrey Wright and Tilda Swinton, Liev Schreiber, Steve Carell, Rupert Friend, Maya Hawke, who all really deliver performances, and even some fun, interesting, and unexpected turns from the likes of like Jeff Goldblum and Margot Robbie in this film. And this film has so much going on, but it knows how to hook you and intrigue you with the characters that are portrayed, for the performances that bring them to life, and the connections that these characters develop with each other in such a meaningful way. And by the time the credits start rolling on this, you realize that you just experienced something fully unique and out of time that you might never experience again. And I think that's something special. And Wes Anderson was really able to channel this time period, this microcosm of American society, and also big ideas that'll have you sitting and wondering about the universe. And this is such an impressive film. And it might have its flaws. It might have some of those things that don't always click and work perfectly well. But it is an ambitious and unique and engrossing experience that is certainly worth a watch. But those are my thoughts on Asteroid City. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.